Hello, I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan, a medically qualified doctor and a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin color. So today's video are the top 5 skincare products you must avoid if you have melanin-rich skin. Today I am coming for your skincare shelf because some of the most viral products online were not necessarily made for melanin-rich skin. They can actually make things much, much worse. The one ingredient that kept coming into my clinic and the pigmentation was so stubborn, the biggest mess that's happening on social media right now. So you're probably wondering, do you have melanin-rich skin? Do you have skin of color? If you're South Asian, Black, Latina, Middle Eastern, your melanocytes are larger and more reactive. They have more dendrites and they are easier to trigger. So I always say one scratch, one bite, or one burn, and we hyperpigment. We cannot afford to irritate our skin because if you irritate those melanocytes, they will be angry for a decade. We can literally have a spot 10 years ago and still have the black mark from that spot. And so we have to be more educated when it comes to our skin and what we put on our skin. Starting off with the OG exfoliator. It's the one I promise you have all used at some point in your life and your parents have probably used it too. It is St. Ives Physical Scrubs. So the problem with this is they contain apricot kernels and that basically scrapes off the skin, but it doesn't just scrape off the dead skin cells, it also scrapes off the living skin cells, and that can lead to a damaged skin barrier. So not only are you now damaging the skin barrier, but you can lead to more inflammation, which then triggers your melanocytes, leading to dull skin. So what happens is initially your skin looks brighter because you remove the top layer of skin, but actually over time you're wondering why your skin is looking duller and feeling more sensitive. And the reason and the culprit is St. Ives. So please stay away from it. Use it on your feet, not on your face. So better options for you are chemical exfoliators. I love chemical exfoliators. They are gentle. They evenly remove the top layer of skin. Your skin glows. Your skin looks plump and juicy without any damage to the barrier if you pick the right acids. So I'm going to tell you now, avoid glycolic acid if you have skin of color. I know there are going to be people in the comment section coming for me saying, Dr. V, I was fine with glycolic acid. I'm very happy for you. But the problem is glycolic acid has a tiny molecular weight and it can fly through the skin, burn the skin, lead to hot spots. And for me, imagine I get 1 million views per day on my social media across YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And so for me, if I told you to do something that could irritate even 3 to 4% of the population, that for me is tens of thousands of burns a day. So I'm always going to tell you to be more cautious. And I'm always aiming for 0% reactions for that reason, because the numbers I'm looking at are so large. So what I would tell you to do are go for a gentle PHAs. Look for the word gluconolactone. Love it. The second acid I love, AHA, is mandelic acid. It's a very gentle alpha hydroxy acid. It's a giant molecular weight. You can put it on the skin and you just cannot burn with mandelic acid. I love it. Now, what can happen with exfoliators is if you take away the top layer of skin, the skin can feel tight, and that is a mistake. When you're formulating for skin of color, you need to be aware that we have less ceramides in our skin, and so the skin looks duller and drier quicker. So when I made Exfoliate to Glow, it's got 5% lactic plus 5% mandelic acid. Those are AHAs. Plus I put in 7% glycerin. That's really important because that hydrates the skin. So it goes on almost like a gel like this. It's fragrance free, which is also very important. Make sure any exfoliator you purchase does not contain fragrance. It doesn't really have any smell to it at all. And you apply it on the skin, leave it on for 20 minutes, then wash it off. So before any filming day like today, I will make sure that I do this the night before so that I have a smooth canvas. So that when Rattan comes and does my makeup, it's just easy. It goes on very smooth. Unlike my voice, because I'm losing my voice right now. So if you are looking for glass skin, the first thing you do need to do is find yourself a beautiful chemical exfoliator. Because the thing is, with age, our cell cycle takes longer and longer. I'm now 41 years old. It takes 41 days for my skin cells to go from the basal layer up to the surface where you see them. That's so slow. And by the time it gets to the surface, they're very small, they're crusty, they are wrinkling upwards. And so when light hits the skin, it kind of goes in different directions. It scatters and your skin looks dull. When you use a beautiful exfoliator, you remove those crusty skin cells. The skin cells underneath are juicy and plump. And when light hits it, it comes off evenly. And that is what gives you that sort of translucent glow to the skin. That is part of the glass skin vibe that you are trying to to go for. Avoid things that are going to damage the skin barrier because that's going to give you the opposite of glass skin. It's going to give you dull skin. The next ingredient I need you to avoid, like the plague, are essential oils. Leave-on products are an absolute disaster waiting to happen. So some of the popular ones, for example, Sunday Riley Luna, or the Drunk Elephant Virgin Marula, or Tatchy Dewy Skin Cream, or Glow Recipe Pineapple Sea Bright Serum. These all contain essential oils. Now I know they smell like a 5-star spa, but essential oils on leave-on products are sneaky triggers for PIH, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Don't forget, skin of color have fewer ceramides, so skin barrier damage is easier for us. Now, essential oils are an irritant, they're allergens. And when that happens, inflammation takes place. And when inflammation takes place, hyperpigmentation can take place. Why would you even risk it? There are so many fantastic products on the market now that don't contain essential oils. So just make sure anything you're putting on your skin, read the back of the packaging. So safer swaps would be fragrance-free, ceramide-rich formulas. Some of my favorites, for example, are CeraVe Cream, the original CeraVe. It's got ceramides in it. It's a beautiful product. I purchased it for me and my family for our full bodies. If you're looking for the face, then you can use our Dr. V Cerapep Brightening Moisturizer. In here, I've put in ceramides, peptides, stem cells for anti-aging and anti-pigmentation, and niacinamide. So lots of beautiful ingredients in here, and it's safe for children to use as well. So my kids use our Cerapep Brightening Moisturizer. The next one is a really big one for my skin of color community, especially in areas like South Africa. I've seen a lot of problems with this. Nigeria, I've seen a lot of problems with this. India, I've seen a lot of problems with this. And this is hydroquinone over the counter, more than 2% without supervision. This damages the dermis, but it also almost leads to something called, it's like a tattoo in the skin. Pigmentation forms, but it basically seeps into the dermis. And no matter what you do, you cannot get rid of that pigmentation, dermal pigmentation. On top of that, you've got a damaged skin barrier. It's also like the structure of the skin has collapsed. And at that point, you can't really do chemical peels or anything. Hydroquinone is something for you to be very, very careful of. Even ones that have been prescribed to, I'm not the biggest fan of. And the reason is it's a beautiful, effective tyrosinase inhibitor. You actually get fantastic results on your pigmentation with it. And that's why it becomes so addictive, because you're on it and you're thinking, wow, it's clearing my pigmentation. The problem is because it's such a strong tyrosinase inhibitor, it can actually lead to something called rebound pigmentation, where pigmentation comes back worse, not just in that area, but all over the face. And I've seen it time and time again in our clinic. So I've treated 40,000 cases of hyperpigmentation in skin of color in my clinic. And hydroquinone is the one ingredient that kept coming into my clinic, and the pigmentation was so stubborn. And they always have very telltale marks. You see these kind of dark patches, but with these light patches in between the dark patches. And you can tell straight away this person has used hydroquinone. And that type of pigmentation is harder to deal with. So things like Ambifade or over-the-counter products with hydroquinone, you really just should avoid. So better options would be 1 to 2% hydroquinone, very short term with breaks. That's probably the best I can tell you to do. I wouldn't ask you to do more than that ever. But safer than this would be alpha-arbutin, tranexamic acid, kojic dipalmitate. So for example, if you want to start off cheap, start off with the Inky List or the Ordinary for alpha-arbutin. If you want to start off with tranexamic acid, you can use it with the Ordinary, with the Inky List. They've got a very good one. You can even layer alpha-arbutin and tranexamic acid. The problem then becomes, by the time you get to the third layer, it's not really penetrating into the skin anymore. So what we did is we created an upgrade for you. This is not for everybody. This is if you've tried the cheaper stuff and it hasn't worked for your pigmentation, then you upgrade to the facial pigmentation kit. This has got 10 tyrosinase inhibitors. It's in an airless pump and it's been formulated for skin of color. So if you tried the sort of 10-pound products and they haven't worked and you've given it a good amount of time, give it at least 6 to 8 months, and then you upgrade to this. This is basically 2 products. They're both in airless pumps. One comes out yellow. This is the HPC Clear, and then this is the Vita Ace. You use them at nighttime, and these are your tyrosinase inhibitors. You use this before you go in for a professional grade, expensive treatment, which can cost you thousands of pounds. So the actives I put in here are alpha-arbutin, octadecanoic acid, retinaldehyde, which works 10 times faster than retinol. I put in retinal palmitate. I put vitamin C, which is your fat-soluble version, tetrahexyldecylascorbate, but also your water-soluble vitamin C, sodium ascorbate phosphate. I put in kojic acid dipalmitate, which is the best form of kojic acid for skin of color. I put in licorice root extract as well. Also put in salicylic acid and your vitamin E. So the next set of products you must avoid, which are just so viral, unbelievable. I don't know how they became so viral. These are alcohol-based toners. For example, Mario Badescu or Neutrogena Rapid Clear Toner. These are absolute disasters. If your toner smells like vodka and stings like heartache, it's time to let it go. Skin of color, as you know, tends to be drier and more reactive with reduced ceramide level. Alcohols destroy the barrier. It leads to flaking, inflammation, and PIH. Why would you do it? So your safer swaps would be a glycerin-based toners, such as your CeraVe Hydrating Toner. Or if you get hyperpigmentation, you can use our Hydrating Toner. In here, I've put in niacinamide, 3%. I've put in glycerin at 6%, so it's very hydrating. I've put in urea at 2%, so it's an anti-inflammatory. Panthenol at 2%, which is also an anti-inflammatory, Centella asiatica, so that's also an anti-inflammatory, plus allantoin, and of course derm stim. So derm stim are our trademark stem cells for pigmentation. So this is specifically if you're getting hyperpigmentation. Now the other big one, this video would not be complete if we did not talk about the biggest mess that's happening on social media right now, and that is DIY skincare. So you've seen all the DIY TikToks, whether it's lemon juice, baking soda masks, potatoes, garlic, ginger, I've seen it all, and it's all a disaster. It can all trigger your melanocytes. Please avoid. So why are they bad? Lemon is an acid. It's a pH of 2. It's so low that it burns the skin quite quickly and it leads to photosensitivity. You think you're brightening the skin because you're essentially just burning off the top layer of skin. But actually, a lot of the time, you can take it too far by accident. You've got no control over lemon. That then leads to pigmentation. The next one is baking soda. It's alkaline and the skin is acidic. So you're almost having a chemical reaction on the skin. Please avoid. The next one I see a lot of is sandalwood. Sandalwood has a strong smell. Anything that has a strong smell is volatile, is evaporating from the skin and is taking water away with it. The other big one I saw in the clinic for pigmentation was garlic, ginger, or potatoes being rubbed on melasma and actually burning the skin, leading to a worsening of hyperpigmentation. Don't forget, I am in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every YouTube video. So when you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know I'm here and you can come and ask me your skincare questions. To learn about the mistakes that I've made on my skin, watch this video.